The GameCube controller was, in my opinion, the best controller of all time. To this day, I have not found a controller that is more comfortable to hold and use, and that has enough buttons to operate most modern games. Unfortunately, Nintendo has stopped making these controllers, and the ones that still exist are often broken or inoperable. Today, we are going to save a damaged GameCube controller from a long journey to a landfill, and we are going to make it even better than it was before. We're going to add a rechargeable battery, the ability to connect to other devices via Bluetooth, and Hall effect joysticks that don't drift or wear out as easily. If you own a Nintendo Switch 1 or 2, I'm sure you are all too familiar with Joy-Con drift, a phenomenon in which the analog sticks on the Joy-Con controllers register unintended input even when they're not being physically moved. If Nintendo had incorporated Hall effect technology in these joysticks instead of potentiometers, they could have prevented Joy-Con drift altogether by improving their design. But before we do that, we need to find a GameCube controller that has a bad board, missing stick, or damaged cable, but whose plastic shell is still intact. I recommend going to a local gaming shop and asking them if they have any broken GameCube controllers. It took me several weeks to get the courage to do this, but 2 gaming shops later, I was able to snag this for just $8. It's missing a stick and there's a pretty obvious fray on the cable here, but the shell is fine, and the mod kit we'll be using comes with new caps for the control stick and C-stick. In other words, this one's perfect. If you don't have $8 to spare, you can earn $8 right now using inbox dollars. By using my link in the description to sign up, you'll earn $5 instantly just for signing up. Better still, there's a $3 bonus in the cards when you earn $3 in your first month, but remember, that's only if you use my link to sign up. You can cash out your earnings to your PayPal account or redeem them for an Amazon gift card. Next, we're going to go to 8BitDo's website and order this mod kit, which I'll link in the description. We'll also borrow a lighter and have a pair of scissors handy for transferring the rumble pack from the old board to the new one. I know it's not technically a rumble pack because it's built into the controller, but if I call it a vibrator, I'll end up going viral for all the wrong reasons. So I have good news and bad news when it comes to these screws. The bad news is their Y-shaped grooves will not accommodate a Phillips head screwdriver bit nor a flathead screwdriver bit. The good news is 8BitDo helpfully includes a screwdriver in their mod kit, which will in fact fit into the heads of those screws. So, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to remove these screws. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so I'm going to rotate this counterclockwise. Oh, this is a magnetic screwdriver. That is helpful. And do not lose those screws, because we're going to need them again later. Let's see, and I think there's... Oh, yep, there's more. So we're also going to get this one in here. You'll see once I've got it out. And as you'll see, the tip of this screwdriver is magnetic, so it makes it much easier to get the screws out. I'll need to remember that the first two I pulled out were silver, whereas the other ones are going to be gold. Now, I've taken out those 6 screws. Let's see if the shell will come off. Oh, whoa, okay, that's easy. You just pull it right up and it, yep, see? Nothing to it. I was trying to make it more complicated than it is. This is what the back part looks like on the inside. I'm just going to set it aside for now. Again, we are going to need it later. And I'm also going to remove this board right here. Let me check and make sure there's no screws on it or anything. It's a zip tie holding the wire in place. That's interesting. Okay, I gotta be careful with that motor. Do not pull it out by the motor. So I'm gonna try and use this little cross down here. There we go. All right, it's coming out, and there we go. Okay. This is what the front part of the shell looks like on the inside. Tempted to take off my gloves so I can feel the membrane there, but I'll do that later. I'm not going to turn it the other way because if I do, the button caps are going to fall right out. So I'm just going to set it aside. Yeah, those button caps are really loose. I just saw as I sat it down. Okay. So now we're going to need to cut these 2 wires, which connect the rumble pack to the old board. I hit something on the back of the board. I am going to cut them as close to the board as possible because we want to have as much wire length between the motor and the end of the wire as possible. Start with this one, and now this one. There we go. And we'll need to make a mental note that the white one is the positive and the black one is the negative. That may become relevant later. And I'm just going to try and pull the rumble pack out. There we go. See? Easy peasy. That wire is caught. Oh, it just came uncaught. Nice. Set this here. Oh boy. What is it? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was like that. Okay. So, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and remove this black plastic piece. And to do that, there are 2 tabs. I'm not sure if you can see them. They're tiny and black. I'm just going to push them. Yep, that one. And second one's always the trickiest. There we go. Now, the black piece is loose, but there are these 2 tabs on either side that are holding it in place. So, I'm going to move this out of the way just for a second here. And then I'm going to pull these tabs. I'm just going to slide these tabs out of the black piece, one by one. And it doesn't matter if you break them. This is the old board. We're not going to use it for anything else, So I'm just going to be rough and tough with them. All right. Well, not too tough because I don't want to break the black piece, but yeah. Come on. Pull out, pull out. There you go. Okay. Here it comes. And now the black piece is free. So, and as I said before, the old board, we're not going to use it for anything else. We're also not going to be using the cord, so I could throw this out if I wanted to, but I'm just going to set it aside here. So the next thing we're going to try to do is we are going to try to remove the insulation from these wires, but just off the tip. The tricky part is scoring the insulation without cutting the copper core inside the wire. So I've kind of already done that with the black wire here. You can see the copper is sticking out. I ended up using a combination of this short blade on my Swiss Army knife and my fingernails, which you can't see here. to just kind of wrestle it off. I was reluctant to apply enough pressure to score the sheath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do what I did before on camera, hopefully without poking my eye out. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, see what I'm doing there? Just really just scoring it. And then I'm going to do it on the other side as well. The recommended way to do this is with a wire stripper, or sorry, a wire dancer, but I don't have one of those, so I'm just having to kind of DIY it. Yeah. Oh, I'm using the wrong side. No wonder it's not working. I'm going to take off my gloves, and I'm going to use my fingernails to try and wrestle that sheath off. Picked a bad day to trim my fingernails. Let me see which one is longest. Oh, hey, that's perfect. Check that out. Check out the white one. Look right there. That is perfect. It's straight as an arrow too. Well, not for long because I keep shaking it, but wow. I am so proud of myself. I'm gonna kind of want to take a picture of this now. Just press it down with the screwdriver there and look at those. Oh my goodness. Like I said before, I'm normally a software guy, so I'm kind of proud of myself now. Anyway, so we're gonna need something else from the mod kit at this point. Screw it, I'm just gonna leave off the gloves. In this little bag, there are a few different pieces here, including some wire and 2 pieces of heat shrink. So I'm gonna open the bag. I'm gonna close the knife. It's right behind my right wrist here, and I don't want to accidentally stab myself. And I'm going to just very carefully get these little guys out of the bag. Leave that alone for now. Here we go. And by the way, don't touch the copper parts of either the wires with your fingers, because you are a human and your hands secrete oils. Actually, your skin secretes oils that can damage the copper wire, can corrode it and make it so that it can't conduct electricity anymore. What we're going to do now is we are going to thread the first bit of heat shrink onto the red wire. Thread the second bit of heat shrink onto the black wire, again without touching the copper. Don't touch the copper with your fingers. There we go. I've already forgotten which one is the negative and which one's the positive, but I believe the white one is the positive, but what we're going to do is we're going to twist the positive wire to the red wire here, and we're going to twist the negative wire on the rumble pack to the black wire here. We're going to twist those. We're going to slide this sheath over top of where we've twisted, and we're going to use heat, in this case from a lighter, to shrink the heat shrink over it. I'm going to do that outside because I don't want to burn the studio down, so I will be right back. Okay, so twisting the wires together was much more frustrating than I anticipated, but the good news is being frustrated makes it really hard to be scared, so I was able to use the lighter to shrink these 2 pieces of heat shrink tubing without chickening out. Even when I singed this wire a little bit, I didn't break a sweat. It smelled worse than it looks, trust me. But anyways, assuming this works, I would say it's a qualified success, so let's bring out the board. This is the new board. This is the board from the 8BitDo mod kit. As you can see, it is in a special type of bag. It's an anti-static bag. If you have static electricity of any kind and you end up, quote unquote, shocking the board, you are going to fry your board. So, in my case, I'm wrapping my feet around the metal supports on my chair. You guys might want to either use an anti-ESD wristband, touch something metal, make sure it's actually metal, but just make sure you're not going to shock the board, because it would stink if you went to all this trouble just to have a dead controller all over again. So, electrically grounded, gonna open the bag, or try to. Again, everything's harder with these gloves on. Okay, we got this part out. We're gonna need this later. This is the C-stick board. Now you can see it. All right. There we go. And just be very careful with it. Don't, you know, try to handle it by the edges if you can. Preferably with gloves on. There you go. Now, we are going to put the 8BitDo board on its front like this, so it's upside down. This is the back side. And you can see that it has the two tabs that went into the black piece earlier, which we're going to need again. Let me see if I can remember where I put it. Oh, it's in the shell. There we go. Okay. So, black piece, two tabs. Let's get the tabs off of here, get the tape off, the tabs and the board. Whoa, okay. I want to press the stick. I don't want to press that stick. Okay, so now I have the black piece. Turns out it was inside the case. And what we want to do is we want to get these two little tabs, which I've already removed the tape from, into these two slots right here. So we are going to attempt to do just that. These two plastic tabs up here need to go on top of the board. So what I got to do it is I need to okay, right through the holes. There we go. So we're going to put these two tabs right through those two holes. Okay. There we go. I'm going to snap it in place. Come on. Come on, I want to hear you snap. Come on. Okay, maybe it doesn't need to. All right. Hey, I'll take it. Oh yeah, because the case is going to hold it in place. Right, okay. So, and now that we've got that somewhat secure, we're going to go ahead and stick the rumble pack in here. Okay, so pro tip, it's actually going to be better if you plug the rumble pack into the board first, then put on the black piece, because this thing is really hard to get in. I don't really have a pro tip for that one. You're just gonna have to fiddle with it until it goes all the way in there. So, but I do have a pro tip for this. See these two tabs on the top here? Those need to go over the top of the board. They need to kind of secure it on top there. And there's actually two pegs here and here, which need to go into those holes there and there. So, what we're going to do is just align it. We're not going to actually put anything in yet, but we're going to align it up. And then that's going to tell us how to stick the tabs in to the slots here. See? Just slides right in. And this one will just slide right in also. There we go. And so the peg will go in, and that peg will go in. And the tabs will actually come through these two holes in the top right here. So it's gonna, there we go. Secure in place with only two hands. Yeah, nice. All right, so just gonna try to get the wire as tight in there as we can, because we're not gonna have a lot of extra room inside the controller, are we? Next thing we're gonna need to connect is the power jack. There is a trick to this one as well. I'll show you what it is. So the first thing is this cable right here. If you touch it with your, I'm only touching the plastic piece, but if you touch this cable with your fingers, you are going to corrode it. I had this happen with a remote lens on a camera before. It worked once and then suddenly it didn't because I had touched the ribbon cable with my fingers. Okay, so we're gonna turn this baby over. Why didn't the peg stay? That's stupid. Okay. Okay, maybe it's on the other side. So let me flip it back over. Oh, yep, there it is. See that white thing? That's what we need to stick it into. So, what we need to do is there's a little tab right there that we need to lift up. Well, I screwed up again. Guess how? I put the black piece on before connecting this thing. So, oh boy. And now I need to get this open. There it is. So I'm gonna just push this right in there. And I'm going to close it up. There you go. Yep. And there it is. Our power jack is connected. So we're going to put the plastic piece back on again. This isn't getting redundant at all, is it? But at least you'll know for sure how to do it. So, tabs, pegs. I need to be able to see the pegs. There we go. Peg, peg. I'm not normally into pegging, but it's kind of necessary for this thing. There we go. Really? Oh, I see. There's like a little wire guide for each of the tabs here, so we need to thread the wire. No, we don't. What? How is this supposed to work? Fuck. So let's see. So we're going to thread it through there. There we go. That might be a little better. Like I said before, I'm a software guy, not a hardware guy. There we go. Come on. Gotta get this stupid wire through the guide there. There we go. Why do you even have a wire on that? It's not even doing anything. Okay. Actually, yeah, it is. It's operating the R triggers, the shoulder triggers. Here we go. So, peg, peg, And tabs, come on. There we go. Okay, now it's secure. There we go. Okay, that's how it's supposed to come together. There we go. All right. So, now we need to connect the C-stick board to the main board. And what we want is for this part to be facing up. Just kind of make a mental note of that. And now we're going to plug it into that. Not like that, the other way. There we go. Okay. And somehow that's going to align into place. It's going to line up there. Okay, come on. Oh, like, could be like that. I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now we've got that plugged in. We need to put on the joystick caps. So the control stick is going to be this one right here. Notice there's a hole. We're going to line it up with the stick itself, and we're going to just slide it on. Oh, come on. There we go. That ought to do it. And C-stick is going to go on the small board, the little C-stick board there. There we go. Oh. I think it's going to be upside down if I do it that way. So I'm going to try and pull this back off. There we go. And I'm going to put it on properly. There we go. That would have been bad if we had a upside down. Oh! And you can push the C-stick too. Look. Hear that? Hear that? And let's see if we can... Let's see if I can do the same thing with the control stick. Yep! You can push the sticks! They added that too! Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. So, what we need to do is we need to transfer the membrane from the old board and place it on the new board. That's the membrane that goes under the A, B, X, and Y buttons. Let's do the same thing for the start membrane. Almost lost it, but I didn't, so we're good. Here we go. And actually, you know what? Come to think of it, let me move this aside here. It's going to be easier if I put the membranes face down in the case, the plastic case. So, that, and let's even got these little pegs to align it. Perfect. Let's see, does this one have pegs? I think it does. Look, yep. Sort of. Let's see. Oh, it's got grooves. Okay. That'll work too. Yeah, okay. There we go. So we've got the membranes in place. Get the Z button out of the way. I don't know how that happened. But now we are going to attempt to place this inside of this and hope to God it works. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on. Alright, put it in place. Oh, come on. Did this black piece seriously come undone again? Wow. Thanks, ain't that do? Making this easy on us, aren't you? Jesus. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. All right. Come on. Fall in place, fall in place. There we go. Okay. Now, we need to, this part's going to be interesting because we need it to, wow. Yeah, they didn't use the right kind of cable for this, did they? Because this needs to come kind of around here. And, oh, wait, hang on. Okay, I thought that did it. It didn't. I thought that would do it. It didn't. Oh, I see. So, it's gonna. Do I want to do the thing or okay? No. Okay, so I actually want to go the other way. Okay, this'll work. This'll work. Look, see that peg? That goes through a hole in the C-stick board, and I just got gunk on it. See? Crap. Oh well. Hopefully that won't actually affect gameplay at all. But the other thing we need to make sure is that we need to make sure that the power jack goes like that, because we're gonna plug it in there. Because we're gonna plug the USB cable in there when we want to charge it. So let me see. And I think, assuming there's nothing wrong that I can see on the face, actually, okay, I need to push this in a little bit farther. There we go. Snap. Okay. Does it need to snap in place over there as well? I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, I'm feeling that the buttons are a little bit loose, so I'm gonna see what's going on with that peg. Because it looks like there's supposed to be a peg. Okay, hang on. All right, lose that first. We're gonna pull it back out. Let's give this one more try. One more try with feeling. Okay, power jack fell into place. That's good. Okay, and okay. This is starting to feel a little bit more like the controller I know and love. Okay. Okay. And just very carefully holding that up so that if it comes back out, we're gonna come on. All right. And notice I'm holding the shell aloft. That's so that the buttons don't come back out. Don't pop this up. There we go. Okay. Here we go. And okay. Okay. Okay, hopefully this will do it. So, I'm going to go ahead and... well, actually, I'm going to put the Z button back in place. It's supposed to go right in here, isn't it? Oh, there's a peg. On Earth? Okay. It's probably not helping at all. Is it? Okay, now it works. Okay, perfect. So. Okay, I'm about to make a pretty big mistake here, and I ended up correcting it off camera, so let me explain what happened. See that slider on your right-hand side? That's how both sliders should be positioned, as far up as they will possibly go. Reason being, the L and R buttons have little holes in them where you can't normally see them, and these pegs on the sliders are supposed to go through those holes. If they don't, The sliders may go down once when the shoulder buttons are pressed, but they won't go back up when the shoulder buttons are released, leaving your console with no way to detect how far down the L and R buttons are being pressed. This doesn't seem like a big deal until you're playing a game like Super Mario Sunshine, where pressing the R button part of the way down allows you to run and squirt at the same time, while pressing it completely down prevents you from moving, as it'll have you using the control stick to aim rather than run. I ended up having to open the controller back up to correct this issue later, to bring the slider on your left back up. So see what I'm about to do here? Don't do that. Before closing the controller, make sure you adjust these two sliders all the way to the top. Now, I'm going to very carefully attempt to close the shell. Oh my god! We just blew it! No, we didn't. Okay, we're fine. Okay, something is stopping it from closing all the way. What is it? It's on this side. It's that damn motor. Oh. Why don't we use that little friggin' tab there to keep the wire from coming up? Okay. Something is pushing where it's not supposed to be pushing. What is it? Okay, what's going on with this? Okay, here we go, and come on, come on. Just trying to get you to fall into place there. Okay, here we go, here we go. And clicking, 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 there we go. Ha ha! Here it comes, here it's just falling into place. Okay, so, all right. I'm not seeing any, not seeing any obstructions, so. Okay, all right. So, it's a little loose, but we're gonna use the screws to tighten it back up. So, this is where we get those screws back out. And hopefully don't scatter all over the place like they literally just did. That's great. So. Come on. Righty patty. I ain't doing a squat. Okay. Line up. Okay, I'm feeling something. Okay, so righty-tighty. And again, remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so we're going to be twisting clockwise. Yeah, I can feel that one's tight, so, it doesn't have to be really tight, just, tight enough to hold everything in place. Get in the groove. There we go. So now we're gonna... Come on. Come on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, I think we can safely let the controller rest on its face now, and I'm just gonna put the remaining screws back in. Once reassembly is complete, all we have to do is plug it into a powered USB port using the included cable and let it charge for about an hour for up to 6 hours of playtime. Next, we're going to pair it with the Galaxy Tab S4. Miraculously, this thing can now run Mario Kart Double Dash at full speed thanks to improvements in the Dolphin app. After charging the battery for 2 hours to get 6 hours of playtime, we are going to pair our modded GameCube controller with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Now this is a bit of an older tablet, but thanks to improvements in the Dolphin app, we are able to play Mario Kart Double Dash at full speed on this older tablet. So, on the tablet, we're going to go to Connections, turn Bluetooth on, go in there, and on the controller, we're going to press B and start for 3 seconds. And up here, the indicator light will flash, indicating that it's in pairing mode. Over here, we're going to look for a device called 8BitDo NGC Mod Kit. Let me try scanning again. Here we go. Now let's pair it. And it's asking if I want to pair. I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. We have just paired our modded GameCube controller with our Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Another thing we need to do is we need to map the buttons on this controller to the Dolphin app. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to, in the Dolphin app, I'm going to go to Settings, GameCube Input, Controller 1. It's going to be the standard controller gear icon. And for device, I'm going to select 8BitDo NGC Mod Kit. Now I'm going to reset to default. I'm going to map each button. So A, I'm going to press A. On the tablet, I'm going to tap B, press B, and so on for X, Y, Z. Let's try that again. Oh, it is select. Okay. Start. Control stick up. You gotta be careful, just move it up, okay? And down, left, right. We don't need a modifier, so we're gonna skip that. Now for the C stick, up, down, come on. All right, cancel. Let's try up, down. Okay, try this again. Left, right. Skip the modifier, dead zone, etc. Now the L and R buttons on the GameCube controller are unique in that they are both analog triggers and digital buttons. Digital buttons can either be pressed all the way down or not at all, but analog triggers can be pressed part of the way down, and they can report to the game exactly how far down they're being pressed. This is how games like Super Mario Sunshine allowed you to press the R button part way down in order to run and squirt, but press it all the way down in order to stand still and squirt using the control stick to aim. So what we'll need to do to set these is we need to press the button almost all the way down, almost until right before it's about to click, and then press L, click it. Then we'll press L in Dolphin, click that button. And see, notice how it says button L2? That is a button. We do want that to be a button. So, and for L analog, well, we're going to try anyway. Let's see if this works. For for L analog. Okay, apparently it's not sending the analog signal, which is pretty typical of Bluetooth GameCube controllers, unfortunately. But let's try it with the R button. Let's try R analog. Okay, and see that says Axis 22 plus. The fact that it's an Axis means it is analog, so. Oops, okay. Press it all the way down, or almost all the way down. Button. There we go, button R2. Okay. Now, let's try the L analog one more time. Axis 23 plus, there we go. Okay, now we'll proceed with the D-pad. Up, down, left, right, and we have just configured our controller. Well, there you have it. We've just saved a GameCube controller from the landfill and given it a new life as a Bluetooth controller. We've improved upon Nintendo's already excellent design by adding Hall effect joysticks that won't drift over time, and by incorporating a rechargeable battery along with wireless communication to eliminate the need for a cord during gameplay. Best of all, it pairs with Android tablets, PCs, and so much more, allowing even those who don't have a GameCube from childhood to enjoy this awesome controller. Late last year, my YouTube channel managed to acquire its 500th subscriber. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You are awesome. If you haven't, please don't hesitate to subscribe now. We'll be so glad to have you whenever you're ready to join us. Either way, please continue to share my videos with friends who might enjoy them, and please like this video if you enjoyed it. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you who have liked, subscribed, shared, commented, or engaged with my channel and its videos in some positive way. And now, let's play some video games.
good. Oh yeah.
Woo!